years ago, the Heat are overdue in the Mile High City. Thirst quencher, it's in the NBA. Is it in you? By Steak and Shake, famous for steak burgers. By Dodge, you can take life as it comes or grab life by the horns. Dodge. And by Southwest Airlines, official airline of the NBA. Southwest Airlines, a symbol of freedom. Let's take a look at our Southwest Airlines starting lineups. First for the 8 and 9 Denver Nuggets. Andre Miller, very capable seventh-year point guard out of Utah. But Greg Buckner makes his first start of the year. George Karl saying, I want to put my best defender on Dwayne Wade from the very beginning. Karl says, Wade, hard to keep off the free throw line and out of the lane. And for the 10 and 6 Miami Heat, James Posey returns to Denver, place he began his NBA career as the 18th pick in the '99 draft. Posey spent his first 3.5 seasons here in Denver. But the big story recently for Miami, the cohesive and effective play of their starting guard duo of Wade and Williams. And with more on that evolving backcourt duo, we check in with Jason Jackson.
Heat fans, good to be with you once again. Well, I'll tell you what, if you haven't heard by now, I'm here to tell you last night, Wade and Williams played fantastic together yet again. 47 combined points, 7 rebounds, then got together for 15 assists. Really, over the last 6 games, they've been able to play great basketball together. Here's a couple reasons why they're meshing so well. Dwayne Wade, of course, can do it all, inside and out. And they're playing fun basketball. And as all the coaches will tell you, when guys are playing basketball they enjoy, running up and down the court, shooting and flying above the rim, they tend to play well together. Another reason would be the success of Jason Williams continue to add versatility to his game. He's able to penetrate, of course. Stan Van Gundy told him early in the year to be aggressive, take the shot or drive to the basket when you see the opening. And he's been working hard on his jump shot, trying to get balance and taking fewer threes off the dribble. He's been working on the video with Coach Eric Spoelstra, and it's just been fantastic. He's perfect really from the waist up, Eric, and now he's just getting that firm balance by working hard with the assistant coaches. Over to you.
Thank you, Jason. Both these teams played last night. The Heat winning in Sacramento, the Nuggets losing in Phoenix. And off we go on another NBA Miami Heat adventure. Glad you are with us. Our NBA officiating crew working tonight's game, Sean Corbin, Violet Palmer, and Courtney Kirkland. Haslam starts the game on Camby, who is a high post center, Tony. He's more comfortable popping the jump shots than he is scoring inside.
You're right. Stan Van Gundy mentioned how he's even shooting the ball better this year from the outside than he has in his whole career.
So Greg Buckner makes his first start this year just to defend Dwayne Wade. The starter at 2 guard had been the rangy DeMar Johnson, but he's more of an offensive player. Shot clock is down to 2. Mourning has to force it up. And the rebound taken by the Nuggets. Well, the Nuggets have won 6. 6 of their wins have come at home as Carmelo Anthony misfires and Alonzo Mourning brings down the rebound.
Sort of quick shot by Anthony. He's one of those guys that can just fling it, you know, catch it for a second, let it go, and be very accurate.
Nuggets start tonight, second place in the Northwest Division, a game and a half behind Minnesota, and percentage points up on Seattle. Wade misses the finger roll. Camby could not hold on to the rebound. As for Miami, first place in the Southeast Division with their win last night, and the Wizards and Magic both losing. The Heat now own a 2.5 game lead over both of those nearest pursuers.
When asked before the game, Stan Van Gundy, about what do you do when you play against a good shot blocker like Camby, he said you got to keep going to the rim, you got to keep taking it as hard as you can, and let whatever happens happen.
James Posey missing on the corner tray, and Haslam gets the loose ball rebound, but it's taken away by Greg Buckner. Buckner's 12th steal of the year. This is Anthony in the low post, turning and converting. The third-year man from Syracuse, averaging almost 25 a game in his last 9. For the year, he's at 20 points a night.
Good awareness by Anthony to see that Jay Will was on him. Too small to guard him in the post. Just turned on him and buried the shot.
Mourning attacks in the middle, and he is fouled on the drive by Marcus Camby. Marcus Camby playing banged up, the 31-year-old out of the University of Massachusetts, bothered by a thigh bruise and a shin bruise. He even had a bloody nose last night in Phoenix.
Yeah, he's banged up, but they say he's a gamer.
Back in the zone for the jump hook. That comes up short. The Heat have missed their first 4 shots here in the opening 2 minutes. Camby thinking about it from 20 feet away. Now he'll let it go and draw nothing but iron, and the Heat doing a very good job rebounding the basketball.
The strategy is to get Alonzo Mourning away from the lane area with Camby shooting Jays. When guys drive, Zoe will be out of position to block the shot.
Mourning gets the offensive rebound. Look out below. A two-handed crusher to get Miami on the scoreboard.
He got that rebound over the best rebounder in the NBA statistically in Camby.
Mourning's 23rd dunk of the year. Alley-oop for Kenyon Martin, but he missed it on inside. And neither team shooting well. Both are 1 for 6. Back to Zoe. He'll tee up the turnaround. Bottoms up for Mourning, who has the Heat's first 4 points.
Zoe's getting very consistent with that 12 to 15-foot J.
Not only does Mourning lead the NBA in shot blocks, Tony, but he is the top field goal percentage shooter in the NBA this year. Came in at 59%.
Yes, he took it back to Nick Collison of Seattle, who went ahead of him for a few days.
That's Carmelo Anthony 4 and Alonzo Mourning 4 here in the first few minutes at the Pepsi Center on a 27-degree evening here in Denver. Yep, a little bit colder here than it is back home. Dwayne Wade will let it fly. Got it. First bucket for Dwayne Wade, who came into this game 6th in the league in scoring at just over 25 points a night.
That's important for D. Wade, because if he makes the Jays, then the defender's got to push up on him and he can go around him.
Haslam switches out to Camby, who throws it out of bounds.
Alonzo Mourning's not just a rebounder and a shot blocker. The man, you see the great rebound there in the finish with the dunk. He got that over Camby, but he's also doing a much better job shooting the jump shot from 12 to 15 feet, as I mentioned. He's gotten very confident, has a lot of confidence in that shot, and he's burying it.
Wade on the drive, pitching out for Williams. Nice bounce into Posey, and he's fouled by Kenyon Martin.
Good job of the Heat moving the ball from one side of the court to the other. Defenses have to adjust, and when they come out and close on you, as what happened there, Posey can go by you. Martin knows that Posey's a very good three-point shooter. Posey took that to his advantage and drew the foul.
Almost 4 minutes into this first period. In the morning, knocked away by Buckner. He's already made 2 defensive plays. Martin all the way in. Wade saved a potential three-point play with that block. But Kenyon Martin will go to the free throw line. And the foul is issued to Udonis Haslem. That's Miami's first foul of this one.
Well, you said it, Eric, on the continuation play right there. Martin would have scored or had a chance to score on it, but Wade blocked it.
Kenyon Martin, in his second year as a Denver Nugget, acquired from the Nets back in July of 2004 for 3 #1 draft picks. And Kmart has already missed 5 games this year, and was a game-time decision. Some thought he would not play tonight. He's been troubled with tendinitis in his left knee. Interesting thing, the Nuggets won all 5 games that he has sat out this year.
Oh, that's an interesting stat.
Here's George Karl. He just finished serving his second 2-game suspension of the NBA season for remarks critical about the officiating. So he's missed the last 2 games with his team. Heat lead it by 1. Williams from downtown, and Jason Williams rattles it home.
That was from downtown. He was way beyond the NBA three-point line that time.
33rd triple of the year for Jason Williams, but the joy doesn't last very long. Kmart on the finishing end, plus the foul against Miami.
Well, the Heat never got organized defensively when they got back on defense after the make. That shouldn't happen after a made basket. You see Martin cutting the lane from the left side. The Heat never really picked him up, and he drew the foul. So you've got to, especially on a made basket, you've got to get back. That time it was a missed shot at this end. It's still, the Heat should have to get back and get into that lane area, protect it, and then push out on the shooters.
Greg Buckner picks up the Nuggets foul, his first, their third. Tony, Denver already has 5 fast break points, an area of concern for Miami because the Nuggets are the most productive fast break scoring team in the NBA at 21 points a game.
Very good fast breaking team. They average 26 points a game in wins and at home. So you've got to try to limit that. That's an important stat for the Heat tonight defensively.
Jay Little from downtown. The rebound to Marcus Camby. Jason Williams last night, 4 triples. And you see how transition defense for Miami is at a premium. You got to sprint back and find your man.
Well, they also try to get the altitude to help them. They're a mile high above sea level. visiting players sometimes get a little, they lose their breath because they're in this thin oxygen area, and they're used to it, the Denver Nuggets are, so they try to get teams running and get them tired.
Well, nice start to the game for Kenyon Martin, the former #1 pick of the Nets back in the 2000 draft. Kmart with 5 of Denver's 9 points, and we're tied.
Looks like Denver's in a zone, 1-2-2 zone that flattens out to a 2-3.
He tries to attack it. Carmelo Anthony hand him a cookie jar. His first is the Nuggets' 4th team foul.
Fans don't like the call, but when Carmelo Anthony drives and the same thing happens and he gets the call, that's fine here in Denver. The home crowd.
George Karl watched his team lose last night in Phoenix, 102-97. Must have been tough for him to watch his club turn it over 22 times. And he said, well, once again, we played half a good game, and that's how it's gone for a struggling team this year in Denver. And George Karl said earlier tonight, the good teams figure out how to play more consistently. The rest struggle on that.
That's right. Good point. Every coach feels that way.
Well, another fast break score on the alley-oop from Miller to Anthony. So Carmelo with 6 points. And the Nuggets lead it 11-9. They've already scored 7 on the fast break.
Back into the zone by Denver. 1-2-2, flattens out to a 2-3.
Williams for 3.
But you can't leave that guy open. One of the things you do when you play a zone is you have to identify who the shooters are, and then you overplay them. That time, Denver just left J. Will wide open, and he buried it.
Williams has had 2 straight games with 4 made triples in each. And the Heat turn over the Nuggets for the 2nd time. Miami's up by 1 halfway through this first quarter.
Not a missed or shot or a turnover by the Nuggets. They come back into a man-to-man.
Haslam steps into it. And that one taken down by Butler, looking long for Kenyon Martin, and James Posey got back to knock it away.
Oh, excellent retreat by Posey to keep Martin from scoring on a dunk. Watch J. Will, he's been hot of late. They leave him wide open out there. He buries it. The Heat up 1 when we come back.
Welcome back to Denver, Colorado. Here's your Geico quote of the game, and that quote is what got George Karl suspended for the 2nd time this year, a 2-game NBA-imposed penalty where he could not coach his club. Of course, the George Karl story, a very interesting one. The Nuggets last year got off to a 17-25 start. That's when they pulled the plug on then head coach Jeff Bzdelik. George Karl gets hired. They go 32-8 under Karl, and that included a 25-4 record. After the All-Star break, they finished with 49 wins and were eliminated in round 1 by the San Antonio Spurs. Karl has always been a little bit enigmatic, but the 54-year-old former North Carolina Tar Heel can really coach the game of basketball.
Yes, he can, and they're going to try to correct that first round elimination the last 2 years that they've experienced this year.
Jason Williams just picked up his 2nd foul. 3rd team foul on Miami. And there you see what the Nuggets did under Karl. 2 straight playoff trips after 8 years out of the postseason. Remember, this is a Denver team that 3 years ago endured a 17-win season.
Look at that record at home under Karl, 25-2. That's part of what the Heat is going against tonight.
George Karl, who played for Dean Smith at North Carolina, also played in the ABA and the NBA. 5 years for the Spurs, 2 in the ABA and 3 in the NBA. There's George Karl, very familiar with Gary Payton. He coached the Sonics for a long period of time. 7 years in Seattle for Karl, and Payton is in the game for Miami, sitting down J. Will, who picked up 2 early fouls. So the Nuggets lead by 1 with 5.5 left in this first quarter. Here's Payton letting it fly. Bullseye.
He's got his legs under him now. He said it took him a while to get the legs the whole month of November, but he's feeling a lot stronger with his legs. That helps the shot. A lot of what you get when you shoot comes from your legs.
Gary Payton has just moved into sole possession of 23rd on the NBA's all-time scoring list, passing by Big Bells, Walt Bellamy. So the Heat are up by 1, 14-13. Here's Payton teeing up a 3-ball, and he hits. Well, maybe the sight of George Karl on that opposing bench is bringing out some of Gary's best. Of course, Peyton was a 9-time All-Star and the all-time Seattle Sonic leader in points, assists, and steals.
He's shooting that three-point shot, the long J, a lot better than he did earlier in the season.
Well, Miami's up 4, their largest lead. Anthony's miss, brought down by Kenyon Martin. Here's Buckner. He'll throw up a 3. Just his 7th triple this season in 24 tries.
He starts the game defensively on Wade, but hits a 3.
Andre Miller defending Peyton. Right now, nobody on Wade. He dumps it in the morning. The shot fake on Camby goes right at him, but it's an offensive foul. That's the first on Alonzo Mourning. 3rd turnover on the Heat as Antoine Walker comes into the ball game and Zoe goes to the bench.
Well, Zoe's trying to get the 2nd foul on Camby. He lowers that shoulder. Camby had good position right there. Zoe gets the foul.
Eduardo Najera into the game for Denver. He sits down Kenyon Martin. Najera, former Dallas Maverick, and last year was with the Golden State Warriors. Here's Buckner again from downtown. How do you like that? Greg Buckner, a guy that's been waived 3 times in his 7 NBA seasons, tripling 6 times in the early part of the season and twice here in the first quarter.
Shooting 26% from the 3-point line, and he buries 2 threes here early in the game.
Go figure. The Nuggets last in the NBA in threes at under 3 a game. Also last in the league in 3-point percentage. Marcus Camby on a quick outlet to Andre Miller. Nuggets lead by 2. Under 3.5 left first quarter. This is Najera, blue-collar small forward. Buckner again for 3. And the numbers finally catching up to the former Clemson swingman. Here's Wade bumping with Carmelo. Camby with a block, preventing a potential 3-point play on this end. But Carmelo Anthony comes away with his 2nd foul, and the Nuggets go over the limit.
Yeah, both fouls were on D. Wade. He had to pick him up in transition, and both fouls were on Wade driving. The first one was on Anthony reaching in. That time he drew contact. Wade did and drew the foul.
Dwayne Wade will go to the line for the 3rd and 4th time here in the first quarter. Last night he took 6 free throws. They were all in the 4th quarter. Heat fans, you could bid now for the ultimate Heat VIP experience. We're auctioning off 2 front row courtside seats to the Heat Nuggets rematch next Friday, December 9th in Miami. It's your chance to catch all the excitement of Heat hoops from the absolute best seats in the house. Don't miss out. Bidding closes Wednesday, December 7th, and the proceeds from this auction will benefit the Miami Heat Charitable Fund. Visit Heat.com right now and place your bid. First 2 made free throws of the game for a Miami team that's at 83% from the stripe during the 3-game win streak. So Wade with 4 points. He's tied the game at 19. And Antoine Walker picks up his first foul.
Walker was a little late getting out there on the pick and roll, and he bodied the Najera, and he drew the foul. You see it here. As his defender comes up, he fouls Najera, trying to force him back to the track.
Only on Sun Sports.
Next Sunday, the 11th of December, the Heat throwing it back to the 70s. Miami participates for the first time in the NBA Hardwood Classic Series presented by Shoma Development Corporation. The Heat will wear the uniform of the ABA's 71-72 Miami Floridians when they take on the Wizards. The vibe, the music, the activities will all center on the days of the funk and the fro. And a couple of very important reminders. Tickets are still available. Call 1-800-4NBA-TICKS or visit Ticketmaster.com. Wear what you wore in 1970 and arrive early so you don't miss the spectacular 1970 Players Intro video. By the way, the 20 grooviest fans will win a free ticket to the game, and the first 20,000 Heat fans will receive a Miami Heat Dancer Hardwood Classic poster.
It should be a fun night, Eric.
Najera missing. Camby did not. First field goal for Marcus Camby comes on a flush after his 4th rebound.
Everyone went to help on Najera, and it left Camby alone on the offensive boards.
Earl Boykins into the game for the first time tonight. He's defending Greg Buckner. And Linus Kleeza's in the game, the rookie from Missouri. He plays for Denver. Here comes Twan. Throwing up the hook. Camby got his second block shot. Posey hoists a three. And out it comes. The rebound of Buckner. And Lisa with a fast break score.
And Eric, you can see that the Denver Nuggets are leaking out. Whoever shoots the jump shot, his man is running out, getting down the floor. The guards have to protect the backcourt there.
Miami had a 4-point lead at 17-13, but now it's the Nuggets by 4 off the strength of their fast break. Wade off the miss, and it's Kliza with a rebound. Kliza, a late first-round pick this year by the Portland Trailblazers. Boykins swings with a Camby. Nobody on him. And Posey deflects a rebound to Wade. And at 30 left in the first quarter, Walker on a nice catch, rolls it home. The assist to Dwayne Wade, his 4th.
Good job with the Heat. If you're playing a running team, if you can get out and run against them, that slows them down a little bit.
Here's Earl Boykins, whip it quick. Kliza loses the ball, but James Posey, who dives to the floor to rescue it. Camby trying to tie him up, and a timeout taken by Miami.
Udonis Haslem did a smart move right there. He could tell that Posey couldn't call a timeout, so he called the 20 to keep possession.
22nd timeout for the Heat. By the way, Greg Buckner, a first-time starter this year for Denver. What an impact Buckner has already had in this game. 6 points, 3 assists, 2 rebounds, and 2 steals.
He's making the coach look good. He put him in the game to play defense against D. Wade, and he's coming through in all different areas.
Buckner started 41 games a year ago, played in 70. This is a guy that's been waived 3 times, spent a year in the CBA, 3 years with the Mavericks, 2 years with the 76ers. This is his 2nd season in Mile High Denver.
Eric, if you play in the NBA, then you should be able to do it like he's doing it on a given night. These are the best athletes in the world, the most skilled players. And just because they don't play a lot for their team doesn't mean they can't get out there on a given night and contribute the way he's contributing. So it's interesting to watch, and let's see, the Nuggets look like they're coming back into a zone here again. Not man-to-man.
Payton comes middle, pitches out, top side, Walker's 3, way off. Wide left, got nothing but glass. Either 3 of 8 from downtown. Boykins delivers. And the little big man, Earl Boykins, at 5'5" in his 7th season out of Eastern Michigan. Always a spark plug. And for the 2nd year in a row, he's averaging better than 12 points a game.
Denver goes back to that 2-3 zone. Eric, the key tonight, if there's one key to this game tonight for the Heat, is they have to control the tempo of the game. And Earl Boykins is one of the best guys in the league to change that tempo.
Antoine Walker delivers a 3, his 32nd this season, his 1st tonight. Walker and Payton both have 5 points off the Heat bench.
Last year, Boykins did a good job defensively against the Heat here, and he helped Denver defeat the Heat with his steals and with his quickness on offense.
Boykins with an air ball. Dwayne Wade rising high for his 3rd rebound, looking ahead, driving forward, setting up Haslem. And Camby comes down with his 5th rebound. And that will end the first quarter here in Denver. The Nuggets get 11 fast break points, and 7 different Nuggets scored in the first quarter. So Denver leads it by 1 after 1. Miami Heat basketball on Sun Sports is being brought to you by Bell South. More choice of services, all from one company, all on one bill. Bell South, listening, answering. By Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. Log on to geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO. And by your local Toyota dealers. Don't miss Toyotathon, going on now at your local Toyota dealer.
Welcome back inside the Pepsi Center here in Denver, Colorado. Our good friend Rocky courtside with yours truly, Jason Jackson. Just want to give you an update on Shaquille O'Neal. This is his 15th game that he's missing. Pardon me, Rocky, I got work to do here. And he had one of his impromptu sessions with the media tonight. He said he's actually going to have one of his practices, first practices with the team, obviously since before the Pacers game on Wednesday with the team, I should say Tuesday in San Antonio before the Wednesday game. So on Wednesday he'll find out exactly how he's feeling. I wouldn't expect him to play in that game, but he's saying right now that the Ryan is ready to go at least to get back into practice in the middle of the week. He's saying right now that Lonzo Mourning is the best center in the NBA this season. And there have been some reports, Eric, that Shaquille's been pinpointing the Lakers game as his return. He said there's no motivation there. He wants to get back to help his teammates as soon as he can at the highest percentage. Back to you.
Yeah, good story there, Jason, as we all await the return of Shaquille O'Neal, as Antoine Walker gets credit for that field goal, the goaltend from Kenyon Martin. Shaq's now been out 4 weeks and a couple of days. And Tony, if you're going to guess, maybe when the Heat return home next Friday night against Denver or Sunday night against the Wizards, maybe one of those 2 games. But who knows? I think so much depends on how the Diesel feels after taking part in that first practice or 2.
Well, it makes no sense trying to rush him back. He's got to be healthy enough to play and not have a recurring ankle problem all year. So they're going to make sure that that's not the situation. And when that happens, then he's ready to play.
Second quarter, a minute old. The Heat turn it over on that trip. Miami opening the quarter with Jason Williams and Gary Payton in the backcourt. Shandon Anderson, Antoine Walker, and Alonzo Mourning up front. For the Nuggets, it's Boykins and DeMar Johnson on the guard line. Kenyon Martin, Eduardo Nahara, and Linus Kliza the front line. And this is Kliza already with a couple of scores in the first half. Nahara. That was true and looked good from the moment it left his right hand.
They're getting good play off the bench. Denver is. They're ranked 10th in the NBA in bench points at over 29 a game.
And the Nuggets are shooting 50% so far in this first half. Denver's led by Carmelo Anthony and Greg Buckner, 6 points. The Heat led by Antoine Walker, 7 in the 5 in the first quarter, 2 here in the second. And that's DeMar Johnson. DeMar Johnson had started 11 games in a row. Remember, Vashawn Leonard was their starting off guard at the beginning of this season, but after 6 straight starts, he lost that job to Johnson, and the night Johnson gave way to Greg Buckner. Timeout to Miami. The Nuggets with a 5-point lead. This is their largest so far tonight.
Welcome back. Jason Jackson courtside with you. As Eric and Tony were talking about, Vashawn Leonard's season started and ended on the same day last year in the Nuggets opener against the Lakers. Leonard's Achilles tendon tore. After surgery, he missed 79 games, but he rehabbed like a madman and made it back for the Nuggets' last 2 games. Now this season, he was ready to go after working hard, but after losing 4 of their first 6 games, Coach Carl, who of course is coming off his suspension, decided to go with a faster pace and more speed on defense, moving DeMar Johnson into the starting 5, of course going with Buckner tonight. The Nuggets have gone 6-5 since the change, and Leonard has seen more DMPs than minutes. Now the frustrations and the rumors about trade desires have been flipping around, but the worst came on Wednesday. Of course, you probably heard the story of Vashawn Leonard apparently refused to come into a late contest against the Hornets. The Denver Nuggets were losing. There were about 17 seconds left and would not go back into the contest, and that resulted in a suspension, which the team called just plainly conduct detrimental to the team. He was, of course, back and ready to go tonight. The team has said that they're just ready to move on. GM Kiki Vandeweghe said he's happy to put the situation behind, and that Vashawn Leonard has been nothing but a professional throughout this very difficult process here.
Thank you, Jason. That took place in Wednesday night's game against the New Orleans, Oklahoma City Hornets as Shandon Anderson missed on the run. Anderson got it back with a shot clock violation. Now, the Wednesday game against the Hornets was one that George Karl did not coach. His assistant, Scotty Brooks, was taking over the team. And George Karl told us earlier tonight he still has not spoken in the last few days with Vashawn Leonard. And Karl told me Leonard needs to talk to Scotty before I will talk to Vashawn.
That's a good point, because Leonard was the one who was wrong. He's the one that has to go to the coach, tell him, maybe apologize, tell him he made a mistake, and then you move on. I agree with that philosophy.
DeMar Johnson has knocked in a couple of buckets here in the second quarter. The Nuggets now have strung together 8 straight points. So their lead is 7. This is the widest margin for either side in the first half.
They're 4 for 4 in this quarter. That's how they got this lead.
Just over 9 minutes to go in the second quarter. Payton and Mourning playing pitch and catch. This is a foul on Denver. They double team Mourning, and Eduardo Nahara picks up his first foul.
Good pass by Payton on the repost by Zoe, and a very good catch by Zoe.
Anderson and Payton go to the bench. Jason Capono and Dwayne Wade check in. Gary Payton 5 points in the first quarter tonight.
Jason Capono, the second best 3-point field goal percentage shooter in the NBA to Bruce Bowen.
Here's Walker dumping it in for Mourning, and it's knocked away by Nahara. 6th Heat turnover in this game. Johnson! Oh my! DeMar Johnson blowing through the Heat defense like it wasn't there.
Transition points again. It's 4 points this quarter after 11 in the first quarter for Denver.
And a 10-0 blitz for the Nuggets to open up a 9-point lead. Wade on the drive for the one-hander that drops. Very pretty move for Dwayne Wade, who now has 6 points. Here's Boykins, one passing for Kenyon Martin. And right now the Nuggets taking liberties, driving the lane with impunity on Miami.
So was trying to go for that block, but he ran into Antoine Walker, the man who was guarding Kenyon Martin, and didn't have a chance to go after that block.
Warren does not have a block yet tonight. Marcus Camby has 2. Wade with a left hand off the window.
Finds a way to score, doesn't he?
2 gorgeous drives in a row finished by Wade. Heater trailing by 7. Kliza lets it fly, and Antoine Walker reels it in. Walker will initiate offense, defended by Kenyon Martin. DeMar Johnson chasing Wade, who drives again and draws another foul.
When the Heat needs offense, Dwayne Wade comes to the rescue. He just scored 4 straight points. Now he's on the foul line for 2 more. Go back and watch the last one he just had. Good drive to the basket. Right before that, he made a lefty. He kissed it off the backboard with 2 defenders on him. So there isn't any one particular way this man scores. He usually takes what the defense gives him, but he's struggling from the foul line right now.
Miami 2 of 5 at the line tonight. Dwayne Wade has taken all the free throws for the Heat tonight. Wade averaging almost 10 free throw attempts a game. He still ranks 2nd in the NBA behind Allen Iverson in free throws made and attempted. And Wade's been over 20 points in all 7 of the Heat's road contests. And he knocks in the second. So D. Wade with 9 first-half points, also 4 assists and 3 rebounds. Nuggets by 6. They're shooting 55% to Miami's 41%. Kmart from the top. And right now, everything is dropping for Denver. Martin now with 9 points on 4 for 6 shooting.
They have good rhythm to their offense. Guys are just shooting with a lot of confidence right now. The Heat's got to try to hang in there, stop the bleeding, keep going back at Detroit like that.
What a move by Wade. He got under the rim and changed direction with the delivery.
Did a reverse layup.
11 points for Dwayne here in the first half. And here's a whistle and a foul against Miami's Jason Williams. That's his 3rd personal.
Well, you can't take your eye off D. Wade when he's playing. He always comes up with something that he hasn't done yet. What a great move to the rim. He passed by 4 defenders on the way to that reverse. There's no stopping him when he gets in the lane like that.
Gary Payton in for Jason Williams. Here's Nahara. Eduardo Nahara, 2nd bucket here in the 2nd quarter. Dwayne Wade, 7 straight points for Miami, but the Heat are down by 8 with under 7 left in the first half. Capono posting up. The 5'5" Boykins draws a quick double team. That left Walker open, but he misses on the 3 ball, gets his own miss, and goes right to the rim. Antoine Walker, he got in there and then finished softly. 9 points in the first half for Twan. Boykins, nice pass to find Andre Melo. He floated it up over Mourning and then got it back. Off the pump fake. Could not draw the foul. Misses again. And the Heat finally hold on, and they rule it out of bounds, says Courtney Kirkland underneath the hoop.
Well, a lot of action in the lane area. Now, that was when Boykins started that, it was a fast break off of a made basket by the Heat. So the Heat, again, they've got to protect the backcourt off makes or misses because this Denver team lives on their transition basketball.
Earl Boykins comes out of the game for Denver with 2 points and 4 assists. In comes Carmelo Anthony, and he'll be defended by Wade. Now, that should have been an offensive foul on Carmelo Anthony for hooking Dwayne Wade.
Oh,
instead, they call the foul on Miami.
I think if Sean Corbin had the angle we had, he would have called the 3rd foul on Anthony as he hooked him. Right. I don't know if you can see it from this angle. Let's see what happens. That left arm is hooked around. See, that's the angle that Sean Corbin had. The angle we had was from the other side. Clearly, Anthony hooked Dwayne Wade going to the basket.
Well, Dwayne Wade got his 1st foul. Now Alonzo Mourning picks up his 2nd. 3rd team foul on Miami halfway through the 2nd quarter. Miami going to have to ride this out, play through the frustration, and start to lock down defensively. The Nuggets shooting 58%, and he just dodged a bullet. Good D inside by Wade. to 9, Carmelo Anthony. Walker, quick hook for 2. Antoine Walker is rolling.
You like the transition by the Heat? Oh, my.
Nahara. The lane was wide open for him. He has 6 points in the quarter.
You know, the Heat run down one end and score in transition, and they got to get back and stop transition at the other end.
Meanwhile, Antoine Walker has 11 points for Miami. The Heat are down by 6. 5.5 left in the first half.
Denver has the tempo of the game right now. They like the speed of the game, and they like the way it's going. They're going to try to keep it at this tempo.
Walker sets from downtown. Tipped in by Jason Capono. A three-point specialist gets his first field goal on the inside. And the Heat are down 4, despite the Nuggets shooting 58% in this first half. Nahara, offensive rebounding and drawing a foul on Miami. And right now, the Heat are playing like they're a tired team. Gary Payton picks up the foul. We get a timeout to the Nuggets with Denver up 4. Welcome back with tonight's edition of Who's Hot and Who's Not, brought to you by Gatorade. The Central Division right now looks like the best in the NBA. All 5 teams are above 500. 4 of the 5 are on winning streaks. As for the Atlantic Division, not a team above 500. Philadelphia leading the division, 1 game under the 500 mark. And with that, let's check our 8-game NBA Saturday Toyota scoreboard. Can the Raptors make it 2 in a row? They won in Atlanta last night. Tonight, Toronto is at New Jersey, and we wait with bated breath. And the Raptors are ahead, 71-66. Chris Bosh already with 22 points. They're in the third quarter. They're actually just starting the fourth. The Pistons leading at Chicago. Detroit looking for their 4th straight win. They are 12-2 on the year. Bucks leading at home against the Magic. Milwaukee at 8-6 has won 2 in a row. The Grizzlies all over the Rockets. That game is in Houston. Houston right now at 4-11. The Grizzlies looking for their 5th straight win. They are 11-5 for Mike Fratello. And Dallas trying to end a 2-game losing streak.
Eric, you mentioned how strong the Central Division is in the East. A couple of games ago, if the season had ended, all 5 teams in the Central Division would have been in the playoffs. Detroit, Indiana, Cleveland, Chicago, and Milwaukee.
Dwayne Wade dropping in another field goal. Wade with 9 of his 13 points here in the second quarter. And despite the Nuggets' red-hot shooting, the Heat are staying in this first half as Miller rattles it down. That's the first shot of the game for Andre Miller.
Got a shootout in Denver tonight.
I'm sorry, that is not the first shot for Miller. He's first field goal. He does have 4 points. Nuggets lead by 6. 4.5 minutes to go in the second quarter. And this is a defensive 3-second violation on Denver. They caught Carmelo and actually Andre Miller cheating, and the Heat will get a technical free throw. And it'll be James Posey that goes to the stripe. Posey yet to score in this game, does have 3 rebounds. James an 80% free throw shooter this year.
Good move by Stan Van Gundy. When the guy's not scoring enough, he's not getting into the flow of the game. Put him on the foul line, maybe that'll get him going.
So Posey gets his first point. You know, he hasn't been in double figures in 3 of the last 4 games, all road games. 1 point at Orlando, 3 points at Atlanta, 9 points last night at Sacramento. He tripled 3 times. Greg Buckner back in defending Wade. Heat trail by 5. Posey maneuvers in. 2 on the shot clock. Walker lets it fly. And Kenyon Martin shoots it out with the right to Wade, who hands it back to Twan. And the shot is good.
UD did a good job on the offensive boards again, forcing the defender to tap it out. He winds up with the second chance points.
Haslam's first field goal. He has 2 points with 3 rebounds, and the Heat trail by only 3 now. Anthony from downtown. And black shirts surrounding that rebound. Haslam has it, his 4th. Heat with a 4-rebound advantage so far tonight. Canby with a deflection. Nuggets turn the Heat over. Now they come out and run 2-on-1. Miller all the way in, but he missed. And Gary Payton on his scooter.
Posey, good job getting back on defense. He might have affected that shot. Excellent play by Posey at one end. Good finish by Walker at the other.
13 points for Antoine, 8 here in the second quarter. Carmelo Anthony with an offensive foul. Good draw by James Posey, and a big play because that's the third foul on Carmelo.
James Posey's a lot like Udonis Haslem. There's a lot of subtle things that he does in the game that you don't see on the box score. This is one of them right here. He comes from behind. Now, whether he blocked it or not is irrelevant. He forced a miss, and it leads to those 2 points. Then he comes back and draws a charge on Carmelo. Anthony gets him out of the game with 3 fouls. Those are the things you don't see in the box score.
Linus Kliza, the rookie from Missouri, who is originally from Lithuania, checks back into the game, sitting down Carmelo Anthony. So the Heat have scored the game's last 5 points. They trail it by only 1 as we approach 3 minutes left in the second quarter. Kliza on Wade, trying for the blow-by on the spin, hung in the air, draws the foul on Camby. On Marcus Camby, his second foul. The Nuggets' third team foul. And we have a timeout here in Mile High, Denver, Colorado, where the Nuggets got off to a good start. They led it by as much as 9 here in the quarter, but the Heat are right back in it. Welcome back to the Pepsi Center in Denver. Antoine Walker and Dwayne Wade have combined for 17 of the Heat's 22 points here in the second quarter. Miami's within 1. Well, immediately following our game tonight here in Denver, stay with Sun Sports. Complete post-game coverage of the ACC Championship football game live from Jacksonville. Sun Sports will bring you up to date on all of today's big football games in the ACC, SEC, Big 12, and Conference USA. The ultimate championship postgame presented by Regions Bank, immediately following our coverage of Heat Denver Nuggets basketball only here on Sun Sports. Welcome back to the Pepsi Center in Denver. The Nuggets have lost their last 3 games and 5 of their last 6. In their last 4 losses, they've been held under 100 points. The Nuggets on the year scoring 96 points per game.
Eric, if you look at the stats right now, Denver's shooting 50% from the floor. They have 12 points to zip in turnover points against the Heat. They're up 17-8 in fast break points, yet the Heat are tied right now in this game. And why? Because the Heat has 20 points off the bench, led by Antoine Walker with 13.
And Dwayne Wade has 14 points, 10 of them here in the second quarter, making this period his 14th double-figure quarter of the season. Boy, Andre Miller with a gorgeous spin move there to get by Peyton Miller with 6. And the Nuggets lead by 2.
He used the same move that Peyton likes to use on a defender.
And this is on Greg Buckner. That's his second. Nuggets over the limit. And look at this. Miller on spin drive. Andre Miller, who played with Michael Doliak at the University of Utah, for a very talented Rick Majerus, who's traded in the coaching clipboard for the announcing microphone.
Yeah, Rick Majerus, way back when, was the assistant coach of Al McGuire at Marquette when he won the national championship in 1977.
Rick Majerus and Hank Raymond's the assistants with Al McGuire that night when they beat North Carolina. And Al McGuire says seashells and balloons. He shed a tear and then said bye-bye to the world of college basketball coaching.
Yes, it took a while for that program to get back up there, and they have.
Tom Crean doing a nice job at Marquette. They were tied at 49. Wade with 16, 12 in this quarter. And Andre Miller draws a foul on Dwayne Wade. Wade's second. Dwayne Wade, you talk about a guy that can score points in bunches. His 14th double-figure scoring quarter of the season. Wade with 16 points to go with 5 rebounds and 5 assists.
And with Shaq not playing, since the second game of the season, many teams are trying to double and triple team him as he gets in the lane, coming off screens, in transition. But he finds a way to elude the defenders, not only getting to the rim, but setting up teammates for shots.
Andre Miller tonight playing in his 222nd consecutive start, which is the 4th longest active streak in the NBA. 8 points for Andre tonight. The Nuggets lead by 2, 2:20 remaining in the second period. Greg Buckner right in the hip pocket of Wade. Uses the Walker screen to draw 2 defenders to him. on the shot clock. Payton from downtown. And the long rebound corralled by Buckner. 3-on-3 break for Denver. And the Heat do get back well. Miller nearly lost it. Nuggets do have 17 fast break points already in this game. Remember, they averaged 20. Camby, he had a double pump because of the defensive Antoine Walker, but it will remain Nuggets ball with 7 seconds remaining on the shot clock.
Good interior defense by Walker that time. Made Camby double pump and miss. And he's got to play good D now for 7 seconds to stop the second chance point here.
Nahara getting the inbounds. Boykins off the shot fake, now fires. In and out, Camby with a rebound. Camby underneath with the reverse and the foul.
What a terrific rebound by Camby. He may have traveled on the move after he got the rebound, but what a terrific rebound. Going for the ball, his quickness, his athleticism. You can see him on the right side there. Ooh, he might have walked first.
Dwayne Wade picking up his 3rd foul of the game, and Wade will come out with 1:38 left in this first half. Meanwhile, Marcus Camby in his 10th season out of the University of Massachusetts. He was the 2nd pick in the '96 draft and spent 2 years with the Raptors, 4 years with the Knicks. This is his 4th season in Denver, and you wonder if the New York Knicks regret the deal. They traded Marcus Camby here with Mark Jackson and got Frank Williams and Antonio McDyess in return, neither still with the Knickerbockers.
Well, some players take longer to develop, to do well on the pro level. Camby was known as a guy early in his career who didn't play hurt, seemed to stay out longer when he had certain injuries. That's certainly not the case anymore.
Yeah, George Karl telling us before the game that he just loves the passion, attitude, and leadership that Camby's displayed this year. Well, the Heat swinging around, and before that 3-point attempt by Antoine Walker, a defensive 3-second violation against Nahara and the Nuggets.
Well, after the made free throws, they came back, Denver did, in that 2-3 zone. And when you're in that zone, the middle guy has got to be careful because he just can't stand in there. If you're in there for more than 2.9 seconds, you're not actively guarding someone, then you get called for the technical foul.
The 7-year man out of Xavier, James Posey, 2 of 2 at the line tonight. Both have come off technical free throws on defensive 3-second violations.
Xavier's in Cincinnati, Ohio.
A regular travel guy. The coach coming out with one thing after another. 7 on the shot clock for Shandon Anderson in Miami. Here's Walker. Outside it comes. 3-second violation on the Heat.
Yeah, Udonis that time. Udonis has played center a lot in this quarter with Zoe out.
Last night, Miami able to overcome 20 turnovers. Part of the reason why they shot their free throws very well. They made 11 triples, and they did hold Sacramento to 87 points and 42% shooting. Here's Boykins, topside. On the drive, pitching back to Andre Miller. Oh, he didn't get up very high on that jump shot. That time he didn't need to. Miller with 10 points in the first half, 8 of them here in the second quarter.
Boykins' quickness that time set that up, getting into the lane area, drawing defenders, and then hitting Miller for the J.
Under a minute left in this first half. Dodge halftime report coming up soon with Jason Jackson. Here's Posey, fakes the 3, steps inside, and misses. Haslam battling for the rebound. Miller saves it in. It goes out of bounds, but they say last touch by Haslam, and I'm not sure how Courtney Kirkland figured that one out.
Well, I think Miller tried to throw it back in, but Udonis touched it last.
George Karl gave Udonis Haslam a compliment before the game, said undersized and underrated. I love him. Here's Boykins. Missing on the pull-up, Shandon Anderson ripping down his 3rd rebound. The Heat trail by 6. Nuggets' largest lead in this first half has been 9 several times in this quarter.
I don't think you'll find an NBA coach who doesn't like the way Udonis Haslam plays.
Sure, you're right about that. But Karl said it, we heard it, so we're sending it out. Here's Anderson. Blocked by Nahara. And the shot clock expires on the block shot. Nuggets will get it with just under 8 seconds remaining in this uneven first half of the Heat.
The Heat were a little lackadaisical that time on offense. They took so long to get into it that they didn't have any chance at the end to get off a good shot.
Coming up on tonight's Dodge Halftime Report with Jason Jackson, part 2 of his exclusive sit-down with NBA Commissioner David Stern. We enjoyed part 1 last night from Arco Arena. Jack's talking to all the heavy hitters. Here's Camby from downtown. And Antoine Walker comes down with his 5th rebound. Well, Antoine Walker finishes the first half with 13 points. Dwayne Wade with 16. They're the 2 high-point men in the first half, but it's the Nuggets that go to the home dressing room here in Denver, holding on to a 6-point lead halfway through.
Doing a good job in that second quarter, scoring points for the Heat, coming back from the deficit, getting into the lane area against all the white shirts, all the defenders. He goes away from the screen. He likes to step back for Jays. He's so difficult to guard, especially in transition. And then he hits Walker on the move, give them a little bit of taste of what they're giving to you, Denver. And then Walker hits a 3 of his points in that first half. He had 13. He's 6 for 12 in the first half. You notice the 4 misses, 4 of his misses are really jump shots from long range. And so, good job off the bench by Antoine Walker.
Last night was his first double-figure game in the last 5. Walker had 11 at Sacramento. Tonight's his 11th straight game coming off the bench, and he did play in the first half 16 minutes. Meanwhile, Dwayne Wade with 16 first-half points.
Posey got called for a moving screen right there.
Posey's first foul. You know what, Tony? Very few free throws taken by Miami to actually 12 free throws for the Heat. 10 of them from Dwayne Wade. The other 2 James Posey got on defensive 3-second violations. So Wade, the only aggressor so far for Miami. Melo, 3 of 8 for 6 points in the first half, give him 8 points now.
You recall last night the Heat didn't go to the foul line much after 3 quarters in Sacramento, but in the 4th quarter when Sacramento tried to come out and contest shots, the Heat got to the rim, got to the foul line, and won the game.
Wade took all 6 of his free throws in the 4th quarter of that game. He's going to get a free throw right here, and he's jawing a little bit with his former Olympic teammate Carmelo Anthony. Wade making the jumper and also drawing the foul on Carmelo, and that's number 4 on the former Syracuse Orangeman.
A big play right there. Carmelo's their leading scorer.
So 18 points for Wade, a chance at another. Well, part of the Heat's 3-game winning streak, their much improved free throw shooting. The Heat making 83% of their free throws over the 3 straight wins, and you can see the improvement on our Toyota trends. I mean, 9 for 13 the night, and Wade now with 19 points in the game, 6 of 8 from the field, 7 of 11 at the line.
Shouldn't expect to see Melo back in the game until the 4th quarter.
That's good news for Miami. Can they take advantage? Andre Miller. 12 points for Miller after a slow start where he didn't even take a shot in the first quarter. Miller now has a dozen points. So the Nuggets lead by 7. Can the Heat summon enough to end their 3-game losing streak here in the Pepsi Center? Greg Buckner is on Wade, backs him into the lane, and dishes off for a Jason Williams 3-ball. And out it comes. Mourning was fouled as he tried to grab the rebound. And the foul is on Greg Buckner. He doesn't like it. It's his 3rd foul. By the way, we didn't see it in the first half, but Alonzo Mourning did get a blocked shot. So that extends his consecutive shot blocking streak to a 30th consecutive game. Mourning had blocked 27 shots over the last 5 games. That's better than 5 a night.
We mentioned last night how Alonzo Mourning has 60 straight games. He has the record for the Heat. He did it both here and in Charlotte.
Williams measuring the 3 and missing it. It goes out of bounds. So the Heat are still down 7 despite the headlong dive and hustle for Dwayne Wade.
These are the kind of things that win ball games. Again, intangibles, not just statistics, are what make good teams.
Earl Boykins in at guard, so they're playing both their point guards together, Boykins and Miller. That's why the Heat activated Gerald Fitch tonight, just in case they might need another point guard defender. Kenyon Martin, double figures now with 11 points, his 10th double-figure game of the year. Kmart averages just under 13 points a game.
He's improved his outside shot since he's come into the league.
So the Nuggets have matched their largest lead. They led by 9 at least twice in the second quarter. Mourning with the offensive board. It's on the hook. Quiet night so far for Zoe. That's his first bucket since the first quarter. Alonzo with 6 points. Kmart tees it up. Ricochets off. Haslam down with his 5th rebound. Heat leading on the boards by 5. Nuggets still shooting 51%. You know, so far this year, only one team has been able to shoot 50% in a game against Miami. That would be the Dallas Mavericks. Earl Boykins picks up his first foul, and that is the 3rd team foul on George Karl's Nuggets.
And that was a Dallas Maverick win in American Airlines Arena.
I believe that was Miami's last loss.
I believe you're right.
Here's Zoe, outside Posey. Wade, quick step, gets underneath, flips it up, but it rolls off. No, we're incorrect. Heat losing at Orlando right after the Dallas game. They haven't lost since then. Camby misses, Miller runs it down.
I was trying to forget that.
I think we both forgot. Alley-oop, Camby through the clouds for the slam dunk on a perfect toss from Andre Miller.
That's a pretty play, even when it happens against you. You don't want it to happen, but what a pretty basketball play.
7 points, 7 rebounds for Camby, 4th assist for Andre Miller. Wade being chased by Buckner, splits 2 defenders and crushes it. Dwayne Wade with 21 points. He has been over 20 points now, 15 times in 17 games, and in all 8 road games.
Amazing how he responds when the other team's on a roll. He usually comes through. They had gone up 9, Denver did, and he comes down, Wade, and he goes to the rim and throws it down.
6 games in a row, 20 points or better for Mr. Wade. A 3rd-year destroyer for Miami. 4 minutes into the second half, he trailed by 7. Up and under, but Mourning missed on the flip. Still battling for the loose ball. Haslam goes to the floor, and we get a loose ball foul on the Nuggets.
When Zoe missed that up and under move, Udonis Haslam was in there fighting for that offensive rebound, causing another situation for the Heat to get the ball back, as Kenyon Martin, I believe, got called for the foul.
Yes, he did. His 2nd foul, the 4th on the Nuggets, and this Dwayne Wade maneuver nice enough to see several times.
You can see all the white shirts around them, but nobody's going to go in there and try to block that shot. Not even Camby, who's 2nd in the league in block shots.
Yes, whatever you can do, we can do better. But they say no basket. Sean Corbin calls offensive goaltending on Wade. And the thought here, if we see it again, was Wade in this imaginary cylinder with the ball there. And very close, hard to tell.
Wow, it was.
Too bad. Spectacular hookup between Williams and Wade negated. 7:40 left, 3rd quarter. Miller in the post. Mourning blocks the shot, his 2nd of the game.
You could see that coming all the way.
Jay Will for 3. Yes, sir.
Yes, it's been a while since the Heat made a 3. Good job by Jay Will.
Jason Williams had a pair of triples in the first quarter. He's now tripled 3 times in the game and has 9 points. Kenyon Martin boxed out by Dwayne Wade, and here comes Jay Will with a Heat down 4. Mourning driving on Kenyon Martin, drawing a foul on the Nuggets, Marcus Camby. And that's the 3rd on Camby. The Nuggets go over the limit.
You got to love the Heat's mental toughness, Eric. When they get down, they come back strong. The Heat was down 9 about a minute and a half ago. You got Alonzo Mourning coming over to help on this play. Miller couldn't see him. And then it comes down as usual off the block. The transition 3 by Williams. And the Heat respond after being down 9.
George Karl, when asked about Alonzo Mourning before tonight's game, said, I admire him in the past, and I admire him right now for what he's doing. As classy as anything he's ever done, the way he attacks the game of basketball every single game. And I think that's the feeling about Alonzo Mourning coast to coast.
You're right about that. And Zoe had made 7 of his last 8 free throws going to the line coming into the game tonight.
Wiggins misses. Posey rebounds. 4th board for James Posey. The Heat are down by 4. Williams, pick and roll action. Back to Zoe. 20-footer on the way. And Camby with a 1-arm rebound, his 9th. He probably could have gotten a better shot on that trip.
Yes, that's too far out. That's too much of a range right there for him to shoot. Jay Will had the shot, overpassed it.
Marcus Camby now 9 points and 9 rebounds. He's zeroing in on his 14th double-double. Camby's double-doubled in 8 straight, and Camby leads the NBA in double-doubles with 13, one ahead of Tim Duncan, Sean Marion, and Emeka Okafor. I love that stat, double-doubles. It means double figures in at least 2 categories. Here's Williams for 3. And a tip in by Wade does not drop. Greg Buckner comes out of there with it. Williams misses on the intercept. Boykin stops, pops, and hits.
There's what they're doing again, coming down in transition. He had 17 transition points in the first half. As we told you the first half, and Eric Spoelstra mentioned at halftime, they scored 26 points off fast breaks at home and in their win.
4 points and 6 assists for Earl Boykins. The Heat take a timeout. Denver's Nuggets leading by 8. At the American Airlines Arena box office, all Ticketmaster outlets, or go online at Ticketmaster.com or AAArena.com.
American Airlines a place to be with all those events, Heat games. Wow.
5:43 remaining third quarter. Nuggets leading 68-60. Jason Williams driving and hitting. And that's the first we've seen of Williams doing that. His first 3 field goals, all from three-point land.
And he got it off against Camby. And now the Heat are small again. You got Udonis guarding Kenyon Martin, and you got Antoine Walker guarding Camby.
So the Heat's 2 starting guards combining for 32 points thus far. Buckner misses. Oh, my. Andre Miller between 2 Heat players grabbed the rebound, but the Heat get it back. Here comes Wade racing in, and he was fouled on the drive out in front.
Good job by Wade at the other end to keep that rebound alive. He couldn't reach it, so he tapped it. Eventually, Jason Williams wound up with it, and then Wade wound up getting the foul at the other end.
The Nuggets over the limit free throws here, and free throws so important. Take you back to last night when they held on in Sacramento, despite making just 3 of their 14 field goals in the fourth quarter, but they did go 10 of 12 at the stripe, including their last 5, and that helps you win the close games.
Yes, it does.
Heat trail by 6, 5:12 left in the third. We await a pair of free throws for Wade, his 12th and 13th of the night. Heat fans make a note of an NBA timing change for our road game December 16th at Philadelphia. Game was originally set to start at 7. It's been moved to 8 o'clock. We'll have it right here on Sun Sports, but make a note, 8 p.m. the start time for the game at Philly December 16th.
That's part of our 4-game road trip. The next day to go to Cleveland and play. This is
the 8th game this year that Dwayne Wade has taken double-figure free throw attempts. Unfortunately for Miami, they're reverting back to their old free-throwing form, which is not a good thing. They've missed 7 of their 16.
Kind of stops your momentum or stifles it a little bit as you keep attacking and getting to the line and not benefiting from it.
22 points for Wade. He's taken 13 of the Heat's 17 free throws. And he's down by 5. Nuggets are reachable, gang. Camby on the baseline drive. Antoine Walker picks up his 2nd foul. And on the Heat, only their first team foul here in the third quarter.
Camby does a good job on that play, trying to get to the rim, draws the foul. He's hitting that outside shot, so you've got to honor it, and then he takes you off the dribble.
Camby, a guy that plays with energy, athleticism, and length. James Posey protecting his 5th rebound. The Heat have a chance to draw closer here. Under 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Dwayne Wade by himself. Buckner fell down. Posey swings it topside. Jay Will. 5 on the shot clock. And that one kicked out by the Nuggets, so the Heat will catch a break. The shot clock was at 4. They reset it to 14 on the kick violation. And Marcus Camby comes out of the game. Kenyon Martin comes in. Eduardo Nahara also checking in for Denver. Camby sits down, 9 points, 9 rebounds, and a couple of blocks. He came into this game trailing Alonzo Mourning by only 3 block shots. Tonight, Camby has 2, Mourning with 1. Nice move, Antoine Walker, and a pretty finish.
Good up and under move by Antoine Walker. And Denver this whole quarter is staying in the man-to-man, but they played a lot of zone in that second period.
15 points for Antoine Walker tonight. If it goes and it drops, Andre Miller gets the bucket. Haslam gets the foul.
Udonis was trying to get to the spot. Let's see this again. He's upset, Udonis is. I think the referee felt he was still moving on the play, but you know, you could still be moving in the direction of that charge as long as you've got your body flushed against the offensive player. So tough call right there against Udonis.
Udonis talking it over with Violet Palmer, the only female official in the NBA. Violet in her 9th year. She actually played college basketball at Cal Poly Pomona, and she refereed 9 years worth of women's college basketball. That included 5 Final Fours and 2 national championship games.
She's gotten better every year she's officiated. She's a solid NBA official now.
By the way, Andre Miller with 15. Wade on the run. A beautiful shot. Dwayne Wade, 8 points of his 24 in the 3rd quarter. The Heat are down by 4. Carmelo got in there, got the bucket and the foul.
George Karl is gambling there. He brings Carmelo Anthony back in the 3rd quarter with 4 fouls. We didn't expect to see him until the 4th quarter with the foul trouble.
Yeah, Carmelo Anthony gets to double figures with his 10th point. James Posey picking up his 2nd foul. Now Carmelo Anthony made the most of his brief time at Syracuse, played just 1 year, averaged 22 points and 10 rebounds for Jim Boeheim, and helped lead the Orange to the national championship in 2003.
Right, beat Wayne Simeon at Kansas for the championship.
Wade on the turn. Wade trying to get the rebound, and he commits his 4th foul.
He'll come out of the game. Wade's trying to get in for the rebound. Yep, body contact, tough call, but you know, they're calling it that way, and he gets his 4th foul.
So Dwayne Wade goes to the bench with his 24 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists. Gary Payton checks in. This is a key time in this game for Miami. 3.5 left in the 3rd. Wade on the bench, and Carmelo Anthony getting busy. And the Heat committing too many fouls. Haslam's 3rd.
Well, you can see who George Karl's going to. That's why he put him back in the game. He's going to go to his guy who's kind of rested because he got his 4th foul early in the 3rd quarter. So George Karl's gambling right now, and it's paying off.
Melo missed a recent game with a sprained left ankle, but he's back and in pretty good form. Well, immediately following our game tonight, stay with Sun Sports. Complete post-game coverage of the ACC Championship game live from Jacksonville. And Florida State at the moment acquitting themselves well. Last we checked, they were up 10-3 on Virginia Tech. Sun Sports, it's 17-3 now. Sun Sports brings you up-to-date coverage on all the big games in college football today. The Ultimate Championship postgame presented by Regions Bank. Immediately following Heat basketball tonight on Sun Sports. Carmelo Anthony now has 13, and the Nuggets have opened their lead back to 9, which equals their largest of the game. Second time in the 3rd quarter they've been up by 9. Shot clock at 3. Walker gonna step back and deliver. And we get a loose ball foul underneath, and again on Miami. This one is number 4 on Udonis Haslam. I don't know what caused it, but it appears some air is leaking out of the Heat balloon tonight.
The Heat had no fouls about 3 minutes ago in this quarter. Now they're in the penalty.
With 3 minutes left, 3rd period, Alonzo Mourning getting set to check back in for the Heat. Haslam will go to the bench with his 4th foul. Udonis tonight only 2 points. He's taken only 3 shots. He does have 6 rebounds. El Nahara had 4 good years with Dallas before going off to Golden State. He was acquired by the Nuggets last February in a deal that sent Rodney White and Nicholas Skitishvili off to Golden State. Skitishvili, a former lottery pick here, and a bust choice by Kiki Vandeweghe. Did not work out.
I'm glad you had to pronounce that.
Phonetics. James Posey grabs the rebound on the Nahara miss.
Wow, he didn't come close to either one of those.
Well, Miami still down 9. Posey on the dribble drive. Trying to scoop it up and got nothing but air. Posey tonight 0 of 4 from the field. Carmelo, a little jab step fake, and the beautiful jumper. Carmelo Anthony has scored 9 of his 15 points here in the third quarter, and this lead of 11 is Denver's largest. They've done it with 7 unanswered points in the last minute 15.
And Eric, Carmelo might have the best jab step of any player in the NBA. It's a 22nd timeout, I believe.
Welcome back. Jason Jackson with you courtside. Nuggets up 78-67, and Carmelo Anthony and Nike getting together to put together a new commercial to promote his shoe and apparel line as a part of the Brand Jordan line of Nike. It's a fine commercial to sell the shoes and apparel line, but also an opportunity to really help with his image and change the thought behind Carmelo Anthony following his last Baltimore video shoot. That was the bootleg DVD starring drug dealers discussing illegal activity. So the commercial is out, and it's called Be More. The shoot follows Anthony's career from his childhood to his current status as an all-star, including shots of his tattoos, childhood home on Myrtle Avenue in Baltimore, and guest appearances that include his college coach Jim Boeheim and basketball legend Bernard King, one of Anthony's heroes. The spot is reminiscent of Storytime, which broke last February in the launch of Air Jordan's 20s and traced Michael Jordan's life from youth to retirement.
Thank you, Jason. 3-second violation on Alonzo Mourning. Now, well-timed tale about Carmelo Anthony, because that 7-0 Denver run, all 7 points scored by Carmelo, who hails from the Baltimore, Maryland area.
And the Nuggets come out in a 2-3 zone out of the timeout, and the Heat get called for a 3-second violation.
You know, one alarming stat tonight, the Nuggets with 24 assists, the Heat with only 12. Anthony's shot ricochets down to Mourning. That's Alonzo's 4th rebound of the game. The Heat trail by 11. Wade's back in with a right hand. He misses. Mourning could not hold on to the offensive board. Now he grabs it back, but stepped on the end line. So Dwayne Wade is back in the game with 4 fouls. I guess Stan feels you can't save them any longer when you're down by 11 points late in the third quarter.
You have to play the flow of the game. Last night, Wade had got his 5th foul with 5 minutes left. The Heat was up 5 or 6, so he took him out, gave him a breather, brought him back in. Tonight, the Heat's down 11, so you can't wait to bring your best player in the game.
Wayne Simeon going to check in next whistle. Here's Boykins. 3 rims out. Nahara with the offensive board. Anthony scores. Carmelo Anthony is lighting up the Mile High City. 11 of his 17 here in the quarter, and he is responsible by himself for this 9-0 Denver run.
Big-time dividends for George Karl, putting him back in with 4 fouls.
Amazing 9-point run by one player. On the Wade drive, we get a foul on Denver. And that is on Nahara, his 2nd foul. Wade to get his 14th and 15th free throws of the game.
Wayne Simeon in the game for Mourning to play center.
Wayne Simeon, the rookie out of Kansas, the 29th pick in last June's 1st round. And tough for Joe on the 2nd night of a back-to-back. He emptied his tank last night, blocking 7 shots in 34 minutes in the win at Arco Arena. Wade gets both. Dwayne Wade with 26 points in this game. 10 of 15 from the stripe.
Well, life in the NBA, Eric. I know we didn't get to bed till about 3:30 last night, coming from Sacramento. I'm sure the players got to bed at the same time, but life in the NBA, they came back. Denver did from Phoenix. So
when we flew into Denver last night, it was in a snowstorm, gang. Wade, a storm of his own. A free throw storm for Dwayne Wade. He's going to get right back to the line, which brings me back to George Karl's words before the game. It's impossible to keep him off the line and out of the lane, is what the Denver coach said, and his words ringing true. Remember Wade's season high 18 free throw attempts. Tonight he'll be taking his 16th and 17th here, and we're still in the third quarter.
Wade's one of those guys, Eric, that just seems there's always contact on a play. Sometimes he'll get called for it, but most of the time it's on a defender, and he draws that contact going to the rim. So he's just one of those players that with his body control, and he usually contorts going to the rim, he draws those fouls.
He's special. He is special, gang. He's taken 17 of Miami's 21 free throws. Dwayne Wade, who had 27 last night in the win over the Kings, has 28 tonight. 9-point lead for the Nuggets.
And Eric, the Heat are in a 2-3 zone for the first time this season, I believe.
Anthony's runner is good. They haven't been able to contain Carmelo. 19 points in the game, 13 here in the third quarter.
I think Stan Van Gundy went to the zone to keep Dwayne Wade out of foul trouble, try to keep him in this game through the fourth quarter. That time, Carmelo went right through the seam and scored.
Earl Boykins with a hand-checking foul there. That'll put Payton on the line. Boykins' third foul.
Let's see what defense he come back into now after this free throw, because if he makes it, you may see them back in that 2-3 zone.
Gary Payton last night had a turnover-free game, his fourth of the year. He has 6 turnovers in the last 7 games. Now the Bacardi Road Rally is back. First one this year will be December 7th. That's Wednesday night at Gatsby's in Kendall. You can join the whole crew: Bernie, the Heat Dancers, DJ Irie, the Extreme Team, and Michael Biamonte. They'll be there to host as the Heat and the Spurs play right here on Sun Sports. Game time at 9. Go on down to Gatsby's in Kendall next Wednesday for another Bacardi Heat Road Rally.
Looks like the Heat's back. Oh, no.
Dwayne Wade picks up his 5th foul.
No, he's got to be careful with 4. He reached in and allowed the referee to make that call. The Heat was back in that 2-3 zone. Watch D. Wade as he reaches in on Boykins. Gets called for the foul because Boykins fell down. That's a 5th foul on D. Wade. We got a whole quarter to go. And Stan Van Gundy was in that zone to try to keep Wade out of foul trouble, and he gets his 5th.
I've seen defenders make that kind of play in the sport of college lacrosse, coming over the top with their stick, but not in the NBA. So Wade will come out. That is deeply unfortunate for Miami. He leaves with 28 points, 6 boards, and 5 assists. And the Heat haven't had very much other than Wade in this one tonight.
And George Call made sure that Carmelo Anthony's out of the game, so he doesn't pick up his 5th, and he's got him for the fourth quarter. We got to see the Heat come out in the fourth quarter without Wade and try to get back in this game.
29-year-old Earl Boykins gets them both. Boykins with 6 points tonight and 7 assists. You're down by 11. Capuno missing the wing jumper, and that ends the third quarter. Well, Miami down by as much as 13 in the third period. Remember the 9-0 run all by Carmelo Anthony. So if the Heat want to end a 3-game losing streak in Denver, they'll have to come back from double digits.
And we're back. Carmelo Anthony did real well in that third quarter, obviously. He got a nice cut to the basket, drew the foul, made a jump shot. You see all the array of shots that he has, just like Dwayne Wade. He can score in many different ways. He's got the J, he's got the cuts to the basket, he's got the drive against the zone right there, the runner in the lane. And he carried the team in that third quarter. He was 5 for 6 from the floor, has 19 for the game.
1 point away from his 11th 20-point outing of the year. He had the 9-0 run by himself. Now the Nuggets collecting 84 points on 49% shooting through 3 quarters. The Heat down 11 as we open the fourth here at the Pepsi Center. Hope you're enjoying the game on Sun Sports. Although it has been difficult to do that with the way the Nuggets have tormented Miami. Earl Boykins now with 8 points to go with his, actually 9 points to go with his 7 assists.
Long J for Boykins. He buried it to start the quarter.
And this is the largest lead of the Nuggets tonight. They're up by 14 with 11:23 remaining in the game. And Dwayne Wade on the bench with 5 fouls. Nice spin move by Gary Payton, who has 9 points tonight.
The Heat have to keep attacking the rim, try to get back to that foul line, get some of these guys in foul trouble. They've got to try to get back to controlling the tempo of the game.
Each shooting 43% in the game. They've already allowed the Nuggets 24 fast break points.
And the Heat come back out in the 2-3 zone.
Marcus Camby and Carmelo Anthony missing. James Posey clears his 8th rebound, which is a season high for Pose. His previous high, 7 boards against Philadelphia. Antoine Walker has 15 points tonight. Capuno on the drive. Payton, straightaway three. Got it. Gary Payton has tripled twice tonight, 10 times on the year. Payton has come up with 12 points in this game. On a night, he moved in a sole possession at 23rd place on the NBA's all-time scoring list.
And Eric, one of the reasons why the Heat may be in that zone is not only to try to change the tempo of the game, but because Carmelo Anthony's now playing the two-guard spot. At his size, maybe the Heat can't match up with him.
Miami's down 9 points. There's 8 seconds left on the shot clock as Walker fires a three-point missile.
Well, you know the Heat's not going to go away. They've got so much character. They're too mentally tough. It doesn't matter who's on the floor for the Heat. They're well coached. They're going to stay in this game with an opportunity maybe to win it at the end.
Walker's second triple gives him 18 points and cuts the deficit to 6. Miami has scored 8 straight points now as Anthony fires and misses. Posey with another rebound.
The zone is giving Denver some problems now.
So 8 points in a row for Miami. Here's Capono. Kabumo!
He got a new one, huh?
I just made that up.
Okay.
The Heat have scored 10 points without a Nuggets reply, and that 14-point deficit is now down to 4. We'll be back.
Houston, we have an all-star game.
El Taco Bell shows you your three-point shooters for Miami. The Heat ranks 6th in the NBA, making 7 triples a game.
Let's see how the Heat got back into this game. With the Dwayne Wade out, Gary Payton hits a 3. Good job getting the ball to him in the shooting area. You got Walker hitting a 3. And then Capono, who's a three-point specialist, shooting a 2. That was Capono with Kabumo.
And Miami has come roaring back in the game with Wade on the bench with 5 fouls. The Heat with 10 unanswered points over the last 2 minutes and 12 seconds. And he's opened this fourth quarter making their first 4 shots.
And the Heat with the small lineup stays in that 2-3 zone.
Carmelo Anthony on the drive, comes into the middle, and the foul came before the shot on Gary Payton.
Good job by Capono. He had the charge on Carmelo, but Gary Payton reached first.
So Gary Payton comes up with his second personal foul. That's the Heat's first team foul in this fourth quarter.
I do believe this is the first game the Heat has played zone all season.
I think you're right about that, Coach. 9 minutes left, fourth quarter here at the Pepsi Center in Denver. Shot clock at 3. Andre Miller stutter stepping, firing, and we get a carrying violation on Miller. Just the 7th turnover of the game for Denver.
Good job with the Heat. They've gotten back the tempo of the game by playing that zone defense. Good move by Stan Van Gundy and his staff.
Been 4 years since the Heat won here in Denver. That was an overtime win, 194, January the 29th, 2002. Miami overdue to break through here at the Pepsi Center.
If I recall correctly, Eddie Jones had a great game that night. The last time the Heat won here.
Walker from way outside. And DeMar Johnson comes down with a rebound. The Heat 7 of 20 from three-point land. And what a steal that was by James Posey. But I think he came down out of bounds.
Great transition defense right there. He goes flying by. Let's see if he lands on the end line. He does. Good call by the official.
Athletic maneuver defensively by Posey.
Violet Palmer with a good call.
Well, Miami comes from 14 down here in the second half. In the fourth quarter, they were down with 11.5 minutes left by 14. They have scored the last 10 points. Miller double clutches, missing. And Camby over the top. That'll be the 4th foul on Marcus Camby now.
We talked about the little things that Posey does. He just stifled that fast break with his hustle right there. He boxed out Camby and drew a foul over the top. Again, things you don't find in the box score.
Going with a lineup of Payton and Posey, Walker, Capono, and Simeon. I would venture to say it's the first time we've seen this group of 5 on the floor, and they're there at a critical time.
They're all bench guys, 5 bench guys, well, 4 bench guys and Posey.
Wade on the bench, 28 points and 5 fouls. Shot clock at 5. Posey for 3. Kaboom!
Yeah, baby, the Heat's right back.
Miami has scored the last 13 points. They have cut a 14-point deficit to 1. What a comeback. Now they got to finish. This is Carmelo Anthony, and that is good. 21 for Carmelo. 9th time in the last 10 he's been over the 20-point mark.
That man is a scoring machine, just like Dwayne Wade.
21 points per game through his first 2+ seasons. Here's Capono. Got another one.
Great job using the screen by Walker.
Now Jason Capono, like a designated hitter in baseball. He could sit for a long stretch, bring him off. He's going to knock a few out of the park.
Well, that shows you the mental toughness of being a professional basketball player. You got to be ready when the coach calls on you.
Johnson misses from downtown. Antoine Walker down with a rebound. A 15-2 run for Miami to cut the deficit to 1.
No Shaq, no Zoe, no Wade, no problem.
Under 7 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter. Capono unloads again. This one rims out and is taken off the floor by Andre Miller. Miller penetrates and hands off. Camby from 20 feet. Got the back of the iron, and Wayne Simeon both hands on his first rebound of the game.
Very good transition defense by the Heat to force Camby to shoot a jumper.
Now a little past 11. Here's your 11 o'clock news. The Heat are back in this game. Walker, left-handed drive for the scoop. Oh my, it trickled around and dropped off.
Had a beautiful move. It didn't go down.
Mark Johnson holds up. This is Miller.
And the Heat are matching up off the miss in a man-to-man. You can't get organized in the zone after a miss.
Carmelo Anthony got another 2. He's got 23 now. He's keeping the Nuggets afloat. 91-88 Denver. 5:46 remaining in the 4th quarter. On the drive, pulls up. Yes, Gary Payton. 7 of his 14 points here in the 4th quarter.
Man, as he made that step-back shot.
And
wow.
14 points, Payton's season high this year.
And after the make, he come back in the zone.
And Andre Miller drops it in again. 17 points for Miller.
Walker's really tired right now, Eric, but there's only 5 minutes left in the game. He's going to have to suck it up.
Walker's played 29 minutes off the bench, has 18 points. Capono had it blocked by Marcus Camby, his 3rd block tonight. Here's Miller, collides with Payton, a blocking foul on Gary Payton, his 3rd, and it's Miami's 2nd team foul. And we got drama here in the final 5 minutes in Denver.
Second best shot blocker in the league. Come right back, the Heat down 3.
Miami Heat basketball on Sun Sports is being brought to you by Gatorade Thirst Quencher. It's in the NBA. Is it in you? By Goody's Headache Powder. It's just plain fast. Use as directed. And by your local Toyota dealers. Don't miss Toyotathon going on now at your local Toyota dealer. With Jason Jackson and the coach Tony Fiorentino, Eric Reed with you 10 after 11 back in South Florida. And we have come to the most meaningful 5 minutes of this game. The Heat trail the Denver Nuggets 93-90. If you missed any of tonight's game or just want to watch it all over again, you can. Monday at noon, a replay of tonight's entire game on Sun Sports. And later on Monday, 10:30 start from Los Angeles Staples Center. Heat and Clippers, 10:30 Monday night.
Watch the game at noon, you said, and then take a nap, and then watch us 10:30
Take a
Monday
nap.
night. Then watch Monday night. You want to stay up late?
Tony, most of the world goes to work on Monday.
Oh, okay, well, what can I tell you?
Take
You're right.
a nap.
Well, if you can watch the game, you're not working.
If only we were all on the coach's nap time schedule. What a wonderful world it would be.
I sound like a player, don't I?
5 on the shot clock. Carmelo Anthony on the miss. Loose ball tapped out by Posey. It goes out of bounds. And it will be Denver ball.
And, you know, here's the dilemma now. If you're coaching the Heat, you've got a good unit out there doing a good job getting you back in the game. When do you bring Dwayne Wade back?
4:38 remaining in the 4th quarter. Wade went out a while ago with his 5th foul and 28 points. And the Heat have come back into the game since. They had a 15-2 run. They've been within 1 3 times. Nahara, backdoor cut, missed the dunk. Antoine Walker with a rebound. Here comes Miami, 3-on-2. Walker bumps, shoots, misses.
Ooh, a lot of contact on that play.
Marcus Camby's 11th rebound. Nuggets lead by 3. Here's Miller. Oh, Andre Miller has been clutch 4 of his 19 points here in the fourth quarter, and the Nuggets back in front by 5.
D-Wade went out with 5 fouls with 7 seconds left in the third quarter. Has not played in the fourth quarter yet tonight.
28 points through 3 periods in 30 minutes. Well, the fouls will sit you down. You need a score here. Gary Payton, 7 points and 3 assists here in the fourth quarter. One bouncing for Walker. Antoine, nice feed for Simeon, but right through his hand.
Oh, excellent play. He saw Canby on him, Walker did. Took him off the dribble, drew the defender, and Simeon wasn't ready to catch that ball. Now you got UD and Wade coming back in the game.
After Miami's 15th turnover, Simeon just had that one sail right through his mitts. Good setup by Walker. So Wade and Haslam will have to wait till the next whistle. 3.5 minutes to play. Fourth period here in Mile High, Denver, Colorado. Carmelo, 22-footer. Just got iron, and Marcus Camby with his 5th foul.
Good job by Simeon, boxing out Camby, getting him to go over the top. You saw Posey do it a little earlier. Good job by the Heat. The perimeter guys for the Heat are doing a better job. And that time Simeon was out on the in that bottom spot in the zone. And the perimeter guys are doing a much better job of boxing guys out, bodying men. That's what Stan Van Gundy alluded to before the game.
Both teams with 2 team fouls. Miami with 3 timeouts left and the 20. 3:10 left. Wade double clutching, draws another foul. He'll go to the line for the 18th and 19th free throws of the game. That's a season high for Dwayne. Now you got to make them as well with 3:09 left in a 5-point game. Denver on the top side.
And what you have is you have Denver with 3 fouls right now. One more, and then there'll be the penalty. The Heat has 2 fouls for the quarter. Obviously, on the 5th foul is when we get into the penalty. The Heat has 3 timeouts left, and Denver has 2 plus a 20. The Heat's going to lose one of those timeouts, though, under the 2-minute mark. They're not allowed to have 3 timeouts left.
For the 5th time this season, Dwayne Wade has reached 30 points in a game tonight. He has done it in 31 minutes, and he's done it on 14 for 19 free throw shooting. He trailed by 3 and even 3 minutes to go. Andre Miller on the drive. He'll get 2 free throws. Andre Miller's been a pain in the you-know-where here in the fourth quarter. Miami's foul on Haslam. We have a timeout. That was Haslam's 5th foul. Now, South Florida, next time you'll watch the Heat Monday night when the Heat play the 4th game of this 5-game journey in Los Angeles against the surging LA Clippers. Coverage of the Heat Clippers game begins at 10:30 live from Staples Center, and be sure to catch a special halftime ceremony honoring Heat assistant coach Bob McAdoo. He was a former Buffalo Brave and Clipper franchise legend. Catch the Heat all season long right here on Sun Sports. And we look forward to getting our first look at the Clippers. They're off to a terrific start. And did you see that note? Elton Brand, first Clipper to win, was that Player of the Month?
Yes.
Player of the Month honor since former Portland State legend Freeman Williams, who many years ago led the country in scoring at Portland State University.
I was going to say, he was a scoring machine, Freeman Williams. And it's great to see Bob McAdoo get honored on Monday night, and we're going to see Elton Brand, who is an early season MVP candidate.
Well, the best years the Clippers, a.k.a. the Buffalo Braves, ever had, I think, was back in the day in Buffalo, and Dr. Jack Ramsey was coaching. Bob McAdoo, Ernie DiGregorio, Randy Smith, Jim McMillan, Bob Kaufman. They had a nice ball club.
Very good off the top of your head. McAdoo averaged over 30 points a game, I believe, 3 times in Buffalo. He was an MVP one year and Rookie of the Year.
Andre Miller split those 2 free throws. He has 20 points tonight. Miller's 3rd game of 20 or better this year. Walker for 3. Ricochets down to Carmelo Anthony. And here comes Andre Miller of the Nuggets. What a move! Oh my! Andre Miller taking over the fourth quarter. 7 of his 22 in the period. And the Nuggets now lead by 6.
He's a lot more lethal in the open court, as a lot of athletic players are.
You know, so many times Miller looks like he's going at half speed, but he's full speed ahead in the fourth quarter. Payton On the Wade setup for three. Got it!
Yeah, baby. Dwayne Wade draws the defense in the lane, hits Payton for the three, who's shooting it much better now, and the Heat cut the deficit to 3 again, and they're back into that 2-3 zone.
Gary Payton has scored 10 of his 17 points in the fourth quarter. And you see the Heat bench with 41 points tonight. Here's Miller, missing off glass. Mourning holds on to the rebound. Walker and Payton with 35 of those 41 bench points. The Heat within 3, down to a minute 43 remaining in the fourth quarter. Here's Wade getting inside, setting up Swan for 3. Cannot get it. And it rolls out of bounds. Well, the Heat last night made 11 of 21 from downtown, and in this cruel game of make or miss, tonight they've hit 9, but they've taken 24.
And they were 2 for 4 to start the game. They went on a streak where they weren't shooting it well, but they have been shooting it well late in the game. Now they've got to play good defense again, get a good shot at the other end.
Heat have hit at least 6 threes in 13 of their 17 games this year. 7 to shoot. Andre Miller pitching back. This is Kenyon Martin. That's good defense by Miami. Mourning's 8th rebound. Hit ahead for Wade. Yes!
Yes, baby. You ain't stopping that move.
Oh, he blasted over the top of Kenyon Martin. His 3rd dunk of the game. Wade with 32 points tonight.
Good rebound, box out by Alonzo Mourning. Good pass by Payton ahead to Wade, and the Heat cut the deficit to 1 with a minute left, and the Heat has a foul to give at the end of this quarter.
4th time they've been within 1 in the fourth quarter. Miller to his legs, finds Camby. He missed, and Mourning holds on to the rebound, his 9th tonight. 48 seconds left. The Heat looking to take the lead. And we get a foul on Carmelo Anthony. That's his 5th. Dwayne Wade will go to the line for 2 shots.
How about D. Wade in transition? Great play by Mourning to get the box out, the rebound, got the ball to Payton. And there's D. Wade going up over 6'9" Martin, throwing it down. You knew Martin was in trouble as soon as Wade got out in the open court. He made him pay, cut the deficit to 1. He's going to be on the foul line.
Miami Heat basketball on Sun Sports has been brought to you by Southwest Airlines, official airline of the NBA. Southwest Airlines, a symbol of freedom. By Steak and Shake, famous for steak burgers. By Jack Daniels. Jack Daniels is crafted with care. Please enjoy it the same way. Jack Daniels Whiskey, Lynchburg, Tennessee. By Dodge. You can take life as it comes, or you can grab life by the horns. Dodge. And by Bacardi Superior. Live like you mean it. There won't be free throws for Dwayne Wade. Side out of bounds for Miami. 41 seconds left in the game. 14 on the shot clock. Heat have outscored the Nuggets here in the fourth. 24-14. This is the 4th time they've been within 1 point. 6 to shoot. Walker gets inside. And it drops. Miami has the lead with 29.5 seconds to go. And Antoine Walker has 20 points. It's the 4th time he's hit 20 this year. The 3rd time coming off the bench.
And you see the first Heat lead since the second quarter. Walker goes up on Camby, on the runner as he goes into the lane. Kisses it up softly, and it stays in, baby. The Heat's up 1 when we come back.
Outside the bun.
The Heat have hit 10 of their 17 shots in the fourth quarter. They've outscored the Nuggets by 12. You might remember the Heat were down 14 with 11.5 minutes left in this game. They scored 13 straight points, made it a 15-2 run. But a moment ago, Antoine Walker's lay-in gave Miami their first lead since early in the second quarter when they were up 26-25. Now, Coach, it's time for a defensive stop and a rebound.
Yes, the Heat probably are going to stay in the zone because it's been very effective. They do have a foul to give, but with 29 seconds left in the game, no matter what happens here, the Heat should get the ball back if they don't foul.
Here we go. Carmelo leads Miller. On the drive, outside Boykins, takes a 3 and hits.
Good job by Miller getting to the baseline, hitting Boykins. That looked like a set play by George Karl, but the Heat are going to have 17 seconds to answer here. Down 2, the Heat used their last timeout.
Earl Boykins with 12 points. That triple was true from the moment it left his hands.
We had the angle on it, you're right.
His 14th three of the year. That's a heartbreaker, but the Heat do have time.
Set up by Miller's drive, draws all defenders in there. That you said it, right when he released it, it looked like it was good. But there's plenty of time on the clock. The Heat down 2. The Nuggets are in the penalty, so they can't give a foul here and try to get the Heat to take it out on the side. So let's see what the Heat, Stan Van Gundy, come up with. You may see the Nuggets go to a zone defense now, playing the three-point shots, and see what the Heat does as they retaliate against it.
4 of Miami's 9 triples have come here in the fourth quarter. The Heat could use a 3 to win, but they need 2 to tie. And you wonder what Miami will do. Usually the ball in the hands of Dwayne Wade at this time of the night. Tonight, Wade with 32 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, and a couple of steals.
Eric, I don't think the strategy is to hold for the last shot, because you want to have the opportunity, if you miss, to get an offensive rebound and then have another opportunity to score. So the Heat are going to try to take what the defense gives them, but they're going to take the first opportunity to shoot the ball.
So the Heat are done with their timeouts, and for the second night in a row, a late night left coast thriller. South Florida, thanks for staying up late on this Saturday night, but hopefully this will turn out well. The 38th all-time meeting between Heat and Nuggets started slowly, but it ends in dramatic fashion here with 17 seconds left. Heat have Wade, Payton, Posey, Walker, and Mourning, and Wade will inbound with Buckner defending.
And it looks like the Nuggets will be in a man-to-man defense right here, with 17 seconds left for the game.
Let's see how it unfolds, gang. Move to the edge of your seat. Posey around the screen. It's down to 10 seconds. Walker thought about 3, got away with a walk. Posey for 3, way off. Loose ball, Camby ahead to Miller. The clock runs out. The ball game's over. The Heat did not look well organized on that final possession, and Stan Van Gundy out at center court. He wants to know why time expired, I believe.
Yes, the officials are going to get together. The Heat believe there's more time on the clock. The clock expired after the foul was called.
It's over. Courtney Kirkland and Sean Corbin are still talking, and they're going to go to replay and check it out.
I was just wondering why they wouldn't do that, to make sure at the end of the game that time didn't expire. You know, that time was left after the foul was committed, and they are going to do that. Let's watch it again. Posey's going to take the 3, try to shoot it over Camby. D. Wade would have had that rebound if it was short. You're looking at the clock up there, 2 seconds, 2.1. There's definitely time left in the game. There's no lights going off on this scoreboard.
But the problem is, there Courtney Kirkland calling the foul, but Walker was holding on to the jersey there with 0.6 of a second left. But even if they put time back on the clock, it's Denver ball with a Heat down 101-99.
Yes. Now you get penalized for not being in the penalty.
I'll tell you what, I thought that both Antoine Walker and James Posey both shuffled their feet. The Heat may have gotten away with 2 traveling violations on the same final possession.
I agree with you with Walker. It looked like he did shuffle his feet. It's unfortunate that that ball hit the rim, because D. Wade was in position to get that rebound.
Oh my, here in Denver, the replay monitor not yet working.
The officials are all watching the last play of the game, seeing if there's any time left on the clock.
There they go. Violet Palmer touched the right button there. Stan Van Gundy, meanwhile, is huddled with his team. Might as well make proper use of the time.
Well, the problem now, Eric, is even if the Heat can get some time on the clock and foul right away to put Denver on the foul line, the Heat have no timeouts left to get the ball at half court after the free throws are taken.
It is looking a little bleak at the moment for Miami to continue their 3-game winning streak and end their 3-game losing streak here in Denver.
It looked like when Walker grabbed the opponent's shirt that there was over 2 seconds left on the clock, but I'm not sure the official made the foul call at that point.
Now they are going to say a foul was called. They've put a second left on the clock.
Well, this does give the Heat a chance now. They've got a foul right away. Put Denver on the foul. Go for the steal. If you don't get the steal, foul them right away. Put them on the foul line, and then play it out.
So a second left. By the way, some final scores are in. Toronto won at New Jersey 95-82. Chris Bosh 29 points, 13 boards. Raptors win 2 in a row. Pistons have won 4 straight. They beat Chicago 92-79. Bucks got 30 from Michael Redd. Beat Orlando 104-84. Memphis won their 5th straight. Beat Houston in Houston 90-75. New Orleans losing at Dallas 97-88. Dirk Nowitzki had 30, and the Spurs win their 3rd straight. They go to 13-3 with a 191 victory over the 76ers. Allen Iverson had 37. And they had to fish some nuggets out of the home locker room here in Denver.
That's a good way to put it.
I hope they get back into, including George Karl.
Including the head coach, you're right.
Well, that's a usual ploy when an official says game's over. The team that is in the lead, they're going to head to the locker room. That's not showboating. That's what I think any team would do.
Absolutely, you're right. All right, it's going to be Denver ball out of bounds.
Look at the look on George Karl's face. He's already got the necktie off and the eyes popping.
He was ready with his post-game lecture to the team, interview. Game's not over.
And now a timeout to the Nuggets. Well, sleep time will have to wait another couple minutes, Miami. 101-99, Nuggets on top. We'll be right back for this very unusual finish.
Think outside the bunch.
Earl Boykins' three-pointer with 17 seconds left in this 4th quarter. The margin of difference right now. Miami had taken a 99-98 lead on Antoine Walker's inside layup with 29.5 seconds left. And now it comes down to this. A second left. The Heat need the steal or an instantaneous foul.
They do, and give the refs credit for getting this right. They huddled, and they set this situation up. Good job.
Camby gets it in. This one's over. So all of that for nothing. Frustrating night for Stan Van Gundy and Miami. They say goodbye to a 3-game winning streak. The record now 10-7. The Heat have lost for the 4th straight year here in Denver, and the Nuggets end their own losing streak at 3, even their record at 9-9. Marcus Camby tonight finished with 9 points and 12 rebounds, and he's standing by with Jason Jackson.
Eric, thank you very much. Marcus, this has been a model year for you, but just this game tonight filled with you and Alonzo as the big blockman, and then the smallest guy on the floor knocks down the shot. Walk us through that last play.
Well, we're just trying to spread the floor out, get someone driving to the basket. We know Zoe was back there, and he's been a menace on the defensive end for a long time. So once he committed to the ball, we was able to kick it out for Earl, and he's been hitting big shots for us ever since we acquired him.
What was the big hurdle for you guys late in this game? Obviously, you guys were up 14 in the 4th quarter, and the Heat were able to come back and make this a contest.
Yeah, they dropped back into that zone, gave us a little bit of problems, and they came down. Antoine and GP hit a couple of 3-pointers, got them back into the ball game. But we remained poised going down the stretch. We lost a heartbreaker last night in Phoenix. Wanted to come back and redeem myself in our home court. Yeah,
fantastic night for you. It's been a great season for you, as I noted. Talk about how it's been trying to balance your good play with trying to remain healthy so you can get you out there and provide all that success for them.
Just trying to go out there and play hard. We got a lot of guys that's banged up. You know, sometimes Kenyon Martin didn't out the lineup, so that puts a lot of emphasis on me to try to get the job done on both ends of the court. But I'm just going out there playing hard. My teammates doing a great job of finding me.
I will see you next week, Marcus. Thanks and congratulations.
I forgot we come down there next week. Can't wait. All right.
It'll be another good one, I'm sure. It was fantastic tonight as the 5'5" wonder, Earl Boykins. It was a no-brainer and a no-doubter bangs it for the win.